Well, hello there, how you doing? Welcome back once again to AndyManCam's garage. Today I'm going to be fitting these Lone Rider motorcycle lights to this Aprilia Tuareg. The Lone Rider motorcycle lights. I am very, very excited to have gotten my hands on a set of these. These things promise to be quite spectacular. They have 4 LEDs on the top for main beam, 4 LEDs underneath for dipped beam, and then 1 LED in the middle for a laser beam aircraft blinding spotlight. And best of all, they're controlled by one of these. This is the Hex ezCAN accessory manager, and they've just recently become available for the Aprilia Tuareg. And as you can see, you've caught me halfway through installing it. The first step is obviously going to be mounting the lights. I'm going to be fitting them approximately here so that they're out the way of the wheel, but also being protected by the bars in case of a sideways fall. To do that in the kit, you get 2 bar clamps, 2 L brackets, an assortment of rubbery strip spacery things to space out the clamp on the bar, and some tools. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to cut these strips. They're not already cut to length. So first par the clamp onto the bar. I'm going to bring it over here, which means it's very snug. And in actual fact, pressing on the plastic a little bit, see that pushes the plastic out of the way? There's actual contact there. So if I was precious about my paintwork, that might be a problem, but look at the state of it. It's been on the floor so many times. I don't really care that much. Put that as far over as possible, and then counterpiece there like that. And incidentally, there's actually a spring washer on these bolts, so I don't need to worry about thread lock. There we go, that's clamped on tight. I'm going to take that bolt off, because I'm going to put one of these L pieces on. Nip that tight. That's a pretty terrible spanner, to be honest. Okay, so that's just nipped on for now. I'm going to put a bolt into the foremost hole in the bracket of the lamp. Stick that on top of that L piece. Then with grippy washer and an eye lock nut, it's nipped in position so that I can still rotate the lights. I have just realised it's upside down, isn't it? So I just undo 4 bolts, bolt it back into place. I'll get that roughly level facing forwards. Also decided I'm just going to move it a little bit further inwards. There we go. Light is in position and the forks do not foul it. And naturally, the garage elves have already taken care of the other side. So now I need to look about getting these beasties wired in. For the next bit, it was a bit pointless trying to do it with the camera on because it was mostly done by feel. But what I've done with the cable is I've come out of the light, cable tied it onto this plastic grill here, and it disappears inside there. Right, it pops out here. That's the cable there. Cable tied it next to the cable by the rectifier there. And then, again, just by feel and pokage, I've managed to get the cable to pop out past the frame, past all of that gubbins, well away from the engine, and appear right here. And same on the other side. And what happens now is that I've got a wide piece, so 2 connectors joined in the middle, coming down to the final connector. There's actually also in the kit 2 extensions, should you require them, but I think I'm going to get away without using them. Because what I'm going to do, starting here on the right-hand side, I'm going to connect this side onto the Y piece, and then feed that through to the other side. I can then connect this side of the Y piece. This little plastic tabby back in, panel back into place, and then pull excess cable back through. Stick a cable tie there just to keep that from flapping around. Just loose, not too tight. Put a cable tie at this end too, so there's no pressure or stress on that socket. Here we go. Back around to the other side. Tidy this up a bit. Put the little plastic clippy back. That's now in place. Connect up the right hand side. I'm going to feed my excess Y cable splitter thingy in there with the rest of it. In fact, to keep it tidy, stick a cable tie around it. And another one around this bit to keep it together. And then if I remove this little plastic panel here, just enough so I can put it out of place, that gives me enough space to tuck that in there neatly out of the way. Oh, looks like it grew there. That then puts me in a position where if I remove this panel, I say remove, but what I actually mean is just pull it out of the way. Because then, take my cable, poke it through here, and then into the battery area. Now things get exciting, because now that I'm here, I can connect the lights up to the ezCAN using the white socket here. This white socket is the ezBus connector. And what the ezBus is essentially like USB for bike parts, whereby I can plug in up to 15 ezBus compatible devices into this one connector and just daisy chain them along, and all of them will be controlled by the ezCAN and by the controls on the bike. So what I'm going to do is obviously connect up the lights to that white ezBus connector, and then need the computer. And what I do then is connect ezCAN's USB cable to the computer, connect the other end into the ezCAN device. The light comes on, open up the ezCAN Accessory Manager software, and it shows me that the thing is connected by this light changing here. I'll show you if I disconnect it. It goes red, reconnect again, go back to green. Now so far, I've only connected accessories. I've got the Scott Euler USB charger and the Apple CarPlay system. But here on the white circuit, you can use it as an ordinary standard outlet for accessories, lights, brakes, all of this kind of stuff. Or if I come up here to the top right, go to ezBus devices, then get this window where if I click scan, it'll scan for detected ezBus devices. There we go, it pops up with 2 motorcycle lights. So they've been now configured. It's updated by configuration, so I can close that. And now these lights are connected to the bike. Turn the ignition of the bike on and turn off only on when engine running. Yeah, there we go. We have lights on. I've just checked the battery and it took a bit of a beating from that messing, and it is now nearly midnight, so I can't really run the bike. So I'm gonna tidy all this up, and we will continue this tomorrow morning. See you then. Well, welcome back. Much has changed while you were sleeping. So you can see everything is very neatly, tidily packed away. I've got the Hex ezCAN tucked underneath this seat cross member thing here. All of the cables tucked nicely down inside here, hidden by this panel, hidden by this panel. And this is a little bit annoying because it means every time I want to plug this into the computer, which I'm about to do now, I have to undo these 4 bolts to get it off, but small price to pay for that much tidiness. And then I have access again to the ezCAN to plug it in. So once again, take out the little rubber button there, very important. Plug in the ezCAN other end into the laptop. So I come once again into the software here, showing me everything is connected, everything is lovely, that's good, but obviously I've got this turned on, that only on when the engine is running. So today, the lights have come on automatically. From the software here, I can reduce the intensity of the main beam. If I go back to normal, reduce the intensity of the dip beam. I can also change the intensity of the DRLs, and I can make them go amber instead of white. Plus, the option here, flash amber with turn signals, means that when I indicate, how cool is that? Even when the DRL is white, it flashes amber with the indicator. As I had off camera last night when I was still buggering around, if you get it wrong, it can turn out that your lights are switched because you've got a 50-50 chance as to which side you pick. And if you get that situation, this happens. Because they're addressed wrong. And all you have to do, if that happens, is click the little arrow here to the right, change this light to facing the other way, change this light to facing the other way, hit apply, and then back to normal. You can also switch on strobe on flash to pass. If I click the flash to pass button quickly twice, the lights strobe. What's also pretty cool is I've got all of the lights on maximum intensity, so dip beam is on max, full beam is on max. If I press the up arrow, hold it down, the light blinks, and then I can use the up and down arrows to change the intensity of that light. All the way down to nothing. So this is without even using the software. And then all I have to do to lock that in is leave it alone for 5 seconds. Yeah, that's now locked. I think same for the main beam. See, that's now blinked. Come down. All the way to 0. And all the way back up again. And again, just leave it alone. And it locks it in. And I can turn it on and off by a long press of the indicator cancel button. It beautifully fades out. And then same again to turn it back on again. In out. So yeah, all I need to do now is angle the lights at the wall and head out and give it a test. So here I am out in the deepest, darkest countryside, and to be fair, Tuareg headlights aren't that awful. And that's the dip beam, this is full beam. They're pretty convincing. Of all the headlights I've had in my life, I think these ones are probably the best. I have also had some absolutely awful ones. The absolute worst, surprisingly enough, were the Honda CB1000R, relatively new bike. Relatively terrible headlights. So yeah, that is my stock headlight setup, what I've had to deal with up to now. Okay, but room for improvement. Well, now we've been in the room of improvements, so let's see what the fuss is all about. Here comes the moment of truth. 3, 2, 1. Holy me sideways with a teeth, Reginald. That is a lot of light. My God, that's insane. It's like somebody turned the sun on and put it only on the road in front of me. Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting this. A gravel road on my ride home. The perfect test. I mean, with the stock headlights, this is a slightly more scary proposition. Stick on the Lone Riders. That is a whole different ballgame. That is literally insane. If I stand up like you're supposed to on the old off-roads, I think I can see the full length of this road and the length of the next road to come. Bearing in mind as well, because I'm only doing 35 kilometers an hour, the main spot in the middle hasn't even come on yet. That's set to come on at 50 miles an hour. There we go, back onto the blacktop. I can see right round the bends. That improves my confidence coming into the corners. Absolutely no end. There we go, there's the spots. I need to adjust one of them, that's a little bit high. But to give you the full idea without this whole speed blending thing, if I... There we go, got beast mode on now. Everything all at once. So that also shows the distance spots in the middle blasting up the road. Absolutely tremendous. This has opened up a whole new world. I can go out riding when there's no traffic. Put it into perspective again, switch the whole caboodle off. This is my standard setup. It seems ridiculous that I managed with this at all. There's the dip beam, and if I turn the lights back on again, we can see just the dip beam without the main beam and the spots. That's already a massive improvement. In fact, I think I would go as far as to say that double dip beam is better than stock with a main beam. Incredible. And then everything all at once, with the spots in the middle. No wonder the bugs are all flying towards me. I think the moon's landed on the Earth and it's riding through Mallorca. So here we go once again. It's a bit unknown. Let's clear things up. There we go. I am astonished by how much light these things put out. That is really quite impressive. Incidentally, I'm able to switch the lights on and off far quicker than with the old 3-second press on the indicator cancel button, because that little red light on the handlebars there is the ezSWITCH, also from Hex Innovate, and I fitted that at the end of the Hex ezCAN installation, so check out that video, links in the top right, if you want to see about the Hex ezSWITCH and what that can also give to you as part of this entire incredible lighting system. I didn't even have main beam on because I didn't even feel like I needed it. And then the overkill. As we reach 50 miles an hour, the spot's blending in slowly. I'm astonished. I'm literally astonished. Yeah, so there you go. This no longer dark ride concludes this video about the Lone Rider motorcycle lights. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these beauties. If you're as impressed as I am. I mean, I haven't said anything about this till now because I wanted to see how impressed I was going to be with them, but they are expensive. The set, including the lights and the ezCAN or the MotoCAN, if you get it directly from Lone Rider, will set you back around 900 euros. But I think you'll agree, the performance is impressive. In any case, as quite often, I have links in the description below where you can buy yourself a set of these lights, and if you do use those links, they will give me a tiny little commission, and that stuff really helps the channel to work, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. So if you are thinking of getting yourself a set of these,
please do use my link. I would be most grateful. Otherwise, thank you very, very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, if you found it interesting or entertaining in any way, do give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you've got any queries, thoughts or complaints. Big thanks as well to Lone Rider for jumping on board and supporting the channel with these quite awesome lights. I've also got some luggage from them on the way, the ADB bags. I'm looking forward to giving them a test as well. But with all that out of the way, I'm going to get this highly illuminated ride out of the way. Keep yourself out of trouble, keep your bike shiny, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra!